Welcome to another edition of Johnson Spotlight. That's right, we are here again trying to bring you all this wonderful information about things that are going on in our community. And we have with us Ms. Tawana Johnson, who is a doula with Doula You Birth and Family Services. That's right. And we're going to be finding out a whole lot more information about Doula. But we want to thank you, first of all, for tuning in and for supporting us here on Johnson Spotlight and being a part of what we're doing. We enjoy bringing the different businesses and different individuals to you for you to be able to get out there and support them and to build your knowledge on different things that are going on in the community. Now, we have a topic here tonight about a doula that was brought to my attention, and I tell you, every day you can learn something new. And I did not know about a doula until received information from this young lady, Ms. Tawana Johnson, about doulas. And so was not very informed about it. And I'm sure there are a lot of you who are not really informed about them, but you will be after tonight. And I promise you that, because she's going to give us some great information that's going to help us along the way so that we will be knowledgeable of the things that's going on in our community. And if the opportunity presents us, we can support, what she is doing as being a doula, okay? So I wanna thank you all, like I said, for tuning in. Thank you for your support. Thank you for going to our YouTube page and for sharing and liking our YouTube channel and for subscribing. We really appreciate that, so that you're not left out of the loop with this new knowledge and knowing who's being spotlighted on Johnson Spotlight. If you or anyone that you know should be spotlighted or have your business in the spotlight, then we want you to send us an email at johnsonspotlight1. That's johnsonspotlight1@gmail.com, so that we can get your information. We can set up a date where we can have a conversation and we can talk to you about what it is that you are doing. Listen, it doesn't have to be a business. You can be running for a political office, as you've seen with a few of our other guests, or you could just be doing something in the community that enhances the community, or have an intriguing conversation that you want to discuss or share with others. Then please send us that email at johnsonspotlight1@gmail.com, and we'll be so grateful to get you on as our guest. But without further ado, we want to introduce our guest, Ms. Tawana Johnson, and she is with Doula You Birth and Family Services. And Ms. Johnson, thank you so much for being a part of our spotlight tonight, and we want to welcome you to this platform. Thank you, ma'am, for accepting our—
Thank you for having me tonight.
Yes, ma'am. Well, without further ado, could we start off with you telling us a little bit about who is Tawana Johnson?
Well, I'm from Walterboro. I moved to Charleston about almost 5 years ago. I became certified as a doula in 2016, but I have been working as a doula well before I left Walterboro. I had my first birth back in 2000, working with a midwife in Walterboro at Carleton Medical. And I got experience through Dr. Mahaley and Dr. Coombe, working in obstetrics, and then getting a few clients here and there working in pediatrics. And so that really got me intrigued into the birth work. And so I was like, I think my focus is going to shift from being medical assistant to, doing birth work. And that's what got me to get certified.
Okay, so you're a doula. What is the biggest question tonight? What is a doula? Explain to us, what does it entail to be a doula?
A lot of people, they say, oh, I know what a doula is. They deliver babies. And that is not so. We do not deliver babies. A doula is non-medical. I don't handle anything medical. I'll leave that to the medical professionals. My job is to support women throughout pregnancy, even when they're laboring, and after they have the baby, during their postpartum period. I give them educational support. We as Black women, we need advocates in healthcare. That's period. It doesn't matter if you're pregnant or just having regular procedures. Someone needs to be an advocate for you at all times when you're dealing with healthcare, because we are treated so differently in healthcare. We can say, I don't feel like myself. Something is going wrong. And the doctors will push it up. Oh, it's nothing, hey, you just need to go home and get some rest, and they're not going to look too further. You have to really pressure these doctors to say, hey, I know my body. I know something isn't right. I need you to address what's going on. And a lot of times that's what us as advocates do, is we stand in the gap and say, hey, we help you to advocate for yourselves, and stand in there to say, hey, remember what you were taught. You need to help advocate for yourself. And I'm here to make sure that you're getting the best health care possible during your birth.
Okay.
I give you education, because there are a lot of things that's happening during pregnancy that you might not be aware of, procedures that are being done, and doctors will halfway explain them to you. And so it leaves women with a lot of questions like, I heard what they were saying, but I don't understand. So I'm here to break that down to you and explain exactly what's going on.
Mhm.
Also, a lot of times we are, pressured into medical inductions, things that are not necessary, when we're getting ready to have a baby. And those things end up into having high cesarean rates. High cesarean rates end up leading into, other interventions or things that happen to our body. And that raises the death rate, because then we're having hemorrhage. There's postpartum depression. There's so many things that go on, during birth and even after birth. And some of those things can be prevented. And so our job is to help lower those things that happen during birth, and try to bring that number down. So when they say, oh, we're going to do a medical induction, why is that needed? We're going to try to avoid those medical inductions. We educate you. We, work with your doctor and have you, say, hey, I'm going to try. And if it's not medically needed, I'm going to voice I'm going to opt out, because we have a chance to say it's our body and I don't want it. And I can say no. And a lot of people don't know that you can tell your doctor, no, it's your body. If it's not medically necessary, you can say, absolutely, no, I don't need it. I'm not going to do it.
And a lot of times, I guess, in the moment, at you with so many different, and I've only been in the delivery room as a support, throughout pregnancies and stuff with my wife. And I think they start bringing in so many things, you're not really thinking right. So for being the doula, from what I understand, is that you're there to support her, not just there at that time, but before, prenatal, during, and then after the birth of the child. Okay.
Absolutely.
So why did you become a doula? Or why and how did you become a doula?
Well, one, I'm a nurturing person. I always love helping others. And when I got into healthcare, that was my goal. My goal was, helping others. And so transitioning from working in obstetrics and pediatrics and me finding my way through birth work, it was a way that I can still help others, working with, mothers, working with babies, and ensuring, that we get help. I can reach you out to resources, other people that can help advocate for you. When there's, something that you don't know, say, hey, I'm having these issues going on in my pregnancy and I'm not quite sure. Well, let me direct you in the right direction to someone else that might can help you. Lactation consultants, when you're having issues with breastfeeding. If you're having, postpartum depression, we do, have issues with, depression, and that we don't have the family support needed after birth. So making sure that you have that's mental support after birth.
Okay, okay, great. Wow. So that's interesting. That's interesting. And people don't realize that those things are very important and very needed. Um, do all doula births, if I'm using the right term, are they all done within the hospital in the
No,
okay.
we work whether it's home birth, hospital, or birthing centers. So it doesn't matter where you give birth, you can have doula support.
Okay.
And we don't just advocate, we do physical measures. So we're helping you while you're laboring. We're doing different birthing positions. We're helping with pain management, and we're helping your birth partner help you while you're laboring and help giving you a break as well.
Birth partner, you mean if this, for instance, if it's husband and wife there, the support of the husband as well?
Yes.
Well, I wish I had known about this here because I need it myself.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So before the birth, do you make many visits with the mom prenatally?
Prenatally, usually do, it depends on the need of the parent. Could be 2 visits, it could be 4. It just depends, providing the education that they need, especially if it's a first-time mom. First-time mom would need, a little bit more because they have a lot more questions than a second-time mom. So of course, there's questions, giving them that childbirth education before getting them prepared for their birth.
Okay. So what type of training does it take to be a doula?
Just find the right organization, because each organization is different. So the training can vary. It could be online, it could be 6 months, it could be 3 months. It just depends. Once you do your coursework, your reading assignments, which are all birth material you have to read, and do your essays / your book reports, and then attend 3 to 5 births after that to become certified.
Okay. So so you said you don't do anything medical, so you don't have to have a medical background.
No, you don't have to have a medical background.
Okay. Wow. How long after the birth of the child do you normally stay with the mom?
I usually stay between 1 to 2 hours after birth, because those moms that want to breastfeed, I want to make sure that they're able to breastfeed, encourage that latch, encourage bonding, skin to skin, and make sure that they transition from the birthing unit over to postpartum before I leave.
Yeah, so basically the place of a lactation nurse, I think you call it.
A lactation consultant. Now, the lactation consultant after birth usually comes the next day.
Okay.
After a mom gives birth. Whereas I stay and do hands-on, because a lot of times nurses are in and out and never with the patient the whole time. And a doula, we never leave our patient side. We are with them the whole time, whether it's 24-hour birth, or say they're first birth 3 days, they're birthing. I have a backup doula, and I may stay, I'm there maybe 2 days or so, and I get tired, and I have my backup to come in and relieve me. So it's team efforts.
Okay. Wow. So the what's the difference between a doula and a term that I was very familiar with as a midwife that was probably used way back before our time?
Like the granny midwives.
Yeah. What's the difference? I know it's modernized now. Is that just a modernized name for?
It's just a modernized name because a midwife actually does deliver. They are certified. So there are 2 different types of midwives. There's your professional midwife.
Okay.
And then there's your nurse midwife, which one goes to nursing school and one goes to midwifery school.
Midwifery school?
Midwifery school, midwife.
Midwifery. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And so One, the certified nurse midwife can practice in a hospital. They can do hospital, home birth as they choose. But a lot of certified professional midwives, a lot of them choose to do home births.
Okay. And home births are not all done in a pool or in a bathtub, right?
They can. It's just up to the mom. They can be done in a pool. They can be done bathtub. They can be done on their bed, wherever they choose to give birth at. You giving birth on a bed is not, is what we were taught, but we don't necessarily have to give birth in a bed. We can give birth anywhere.
Anywhere. So how many births you think, okay, you said you've been doing this since 2000, right? I think you said.
Mm-hmm.
How many births you think you've been a part of?
I think after 68, I stopped counting.
So well over 100 by now. That's been what, 22 years ago. I'm 22 years.
Yeah, it's been a good while now.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So have you ever experienced any birth, any complications with different births that you've had?
Mm-hmm. I've run into placenta versa, which is almost like the placenta previa. Placenta previa is where you have low-lying placenta, which is covering the cervix. So it's hard. Sometimes if it's caught early, there's a small chance that the placenta might move up and allow mom to deliver. But as long as that placenta is covering the cervix, the baby would have to be born via cesarean. Mm-hmm. But when there's a versa, the placenta starts to break away from the cervix and it causes the bleeding. And so when that happens, it has to be immediate cesarean involved. So I've run into various complications throughout.
Okay. Well, now what is the process that is where they can save the placenta? I don't know the word.
Or placenta encapsulation.
There you go. Placenta encapsulation. We were told that you can take the placenta and use it later for, can you explain that process?
You can take the placenta home. Some people choose to encapsulate it, which is to make it into a supplement. It is made into pill form where the mother consumes it. You can plant it as a ritual. Some people do it as a ritual and plant it in their gardens at home and know, hey, and then, say, hey, this is where the placenta was planted. So now you have life coming from it, maybe a tree sprout might start growing from it. But it's all up to you whether you let your placenta just go, to the hospital where they inspect it and they, do whatever they want to it, which they could, get stem cells. They might send it off for testing. Who knows what they're doing these days.
So you can take the placenta and actually plant it and something will grow from it in the ground, or you have to put a seed in there for it?
You have to put a seed in it with it.
Okay. All right. So the regular births, like have you ever attended a birth that has ended up in a cesarean, or do y'all do a lot of the births?
We do some cesarean births. A cesarean, we have planned cesarean sections where we know that there might be a complication or something going on that, baby is going to do mom has already prepared herself and we know this is going to be a planned cesarean. And the hospitals are pretty good to say, hey, doulas can't come back. With COVID, sometimes they've stiffened up and say, hey, only dad can come back. But now they've, let up and say, hey, we can come back again. And then I've had some where we have an induction, and inductions is where the body is given an artificial hormone, which is the Pitocin, to induce labor. And anytime that we give the body that, it always makes our contractions stronger than they naturally occur. Sometimes that works and naturally puts the body in labor. Sometimes the Pitocin doesn't work, and then they have to, try, breaking the water to, further progress. Sometimes that works, but if labor just stalls and mom is not progressing like she should, after a certain period of time, the doctor was like, hey, we're going to go ahead and do a cesarean because we can't let mom be in labor, but so long with her waters broken and the baby not being delivered. So then that ends up being a cesarean.
Yeah, because you're putting the baby under stress at that time. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or sometimes the contractions can be too strong because of the Pitocin, and it causes the baby's heart rate to dip. And then that can be a reason for a cesarean as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that happened with my son. I think the first one, she was given the Pitocin for induction, and then his heart rate began to drop a little bit, and so, yeah, I'm familiar with that part of it. What's the major benefit of having a doula versus just, but if there's someone that's listening that wants to, or possibly expecting or will be in the future, and they want to possibly have a doula, what's the biggest benefit that you, as a doula, that you can see that would help them make that decision?
Sometimes doula improve our health outcomes with shorter labors. It cuts those unnecessary procedures that might come about that a parent is not wanting, and they can say, hey, I know now and know I'm not going to have these things done. And also, we offer postpartum help because some people might have a family support system and some might not. And they need that postpartum doula to come in and say, hey, I need the assistance around the house, to help me manage with baby those first few weeks when I come home.
So you come home with them as well, your service. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. So at home, what do you do? Just there for moral support, maybe?
Moral support, making sure that they're getting the rest that they need. Self-care is very important, making sure that the baby's needs are met. Even if mom is just saying, hey, I need to take a shower, get myself together, and I need you to come for a couple hours just to help me around the house so that I can get a nap. Mm-hmm. And you watch baby. So during that time, I might come and do some laundry, wash some dishes, put a meal in the oven for mom, and give her back, baby. Okay. It's just that little bit of time gives her a sense of relief. And sometimes it's just a little bit of time is all that's needed to give her what she needs.
Okay. So that's basically to help mom through that time, because postpartum is a beast, and mm-hmm. and different women, I'm sure, probably experience it in different ways, Mm-hmm. You guys are basically the support. So through the iDoula, YouBirth, and family services, what are the other services that you all provide?
Belly binding. I make herbal tinctures.
Belly binding is what now?
Belly binding is where we use a cloth to basically tie the woman's stomach after birth. And it's a wrapping of the stomach.
Okay.
And that's done for a few weeks after birth, just to help those muscles heal after birth.
Okay. Okay.
I make herbal tinctures, teas, healing salves. Like I make a calendula salve that is used for chapped or cracked nipples when mom is breastfeeding. It's also used as like for wound care. It could be used for like diaper rash. I also do like sea moss and elderberry. do things for nausea and vomiting when mom is struggling during, those first few months during pregnancy, helping her get over that hump.
So is that your sea moss and your elderberry syrup, is that just for pregnant moms or that's anybody?
No, that's for anybody. My herbal teas, tinctures, salves, those are for anybody that needs those services.
What are the tinctures?
Tinctures are basically, it's a herbal medicine,
Uh-huh.
and it's basically based on your needs. Like say, you're having a certain type of ailment or pain, and those herbs are catered to that particular pain, and they're cured over a period of time. So it takes about 6 to 8 weeks for the herbal medicine to create. And once it's done, then you just keep it, and it lasts, a few years depending on how you use it.
Really? Okay. And your sea moss, I've had sea moss in pill form. I've had it in the gel, like little mango gel or strawberry gel. You have all that stuff. Now, if I wanted to order some sea moss, because it's good, it has good benefits, side benefits for your health and everything, And I don't know about you, but as we're getting younger and younger every day, I try to find anything that's going to help me a little bit longer.
That longevity.
That longevity. So when I heard about sea moss and the benefits, even elderberry, I mean, I do elderberry gummies daily,
Yeah, elderberry is good.
Very good.
Life Everlasting is really good as well.
Now, Life Everlasting, let's talk about that, because see, some people call it Life Everlasting. I was brought up calling it sassafras tea roots.
Yeah, okay. We call that.
But you can't find it now.
It's because because they cut it down, or because we used to find it.
Yeah.
And anything that's good for the body, they want to
get rid of it. Yeah.
They get rid of it.
Uh-huh.
But we can find it in remote areas like Guatemala, or certain areas around Charleston. We can find it.
Okay. See, you used to go, when we grew up in Walterboro, you used to go out there in the woods and just pull it up.
And find it. Or I would go to Neil's and get it. Yeah.
Yeah, but now you can't. Yeah. I'm telling you. And I think most of the older people that that had or knew where it was, they're, pretty much gone or whatever. And you really can't find it anymore. And so, wow. So now listen, if somebody needs to order some some sea moss or some elderberry syrup or some tea or anything from you, tell them how they can get in touch with you to be able to order some of these.
They can just message, they can message Doula You on my Facebook or Instagram page, or send a message to Thelma Rose Organics. And I will be gladly to take their order. Just let me know what you're looking for.
Thelma Rose
Organics.
ROSE.
Thelma, THELMA, Rose Organics with the S.
Organics. Okay. That's the Facebook page. Thelma Organics. Okay. All right. Message on Doula You. Okay, great. And so the Doula services, Doula You Birth and Family Services, if a potential mom is here and wants to get those services, how do they get in touch with you? Is there a website, or do they do the same Doula You?
They can, there's a website. My website information is listed right on my Facebook page. And if you just click the link, and it'll send you right over to my website.
Okay, all right. You want to get the website?
It's idoulaju.wixsite.com/doula.
Okay. /doula. All right. You all have that information there. If you need any of those services, if you need any of the herbal teas or tinctures or sea moss gel or elderberry syrup, get in touch with Miss Tawana Johnson. She's with, once again, Doula You Birth and Family Services. Now, before we go, is there anything that you'd like to tell our listening audience that we have not covered that you would like to let them know about the services that you render?
I am located in Charleston, but I do travel all of the Low Country. So I'm through Walterboro seeing clients, Walterboro, Charleston, Columbia, Orangeburg. So basically the greater Low Country area. And sometimes I travel out further than that, just depends on my client's needs.
Okay. So you all just call her, get in touch with her on Facebook, and she'll come to where you are. You know, no distance too far to where she can come and be a part of your prenatal, during birth, and postpartum situation with your birth of your baby. So please reach out to her, Miss Tawana Johnson. She's the owner of Doula You Birth and Family Services. Doula You Birth and Family Services. So please go and reach out to her and support what she has going on there. And if you need, like I said, any of those herbal tinctures and teas and what have you, the sea moss and the elderberry, do what you have to do to get yourself healthy and live longer. There you go. That's what I like, longevity.
That's right.
Keep your hair black and your skin popping. As you go ahead.
That's right. That sea moss to have you glowing.
that exactly. That's what you need to take that sea moss for real. And they have plenty of benefits. Go and Google. You know, we Google everything. So go and Google some of the benefits of these different things by nature that are here on the earth that we need to take a part of. You know, one thing is that you can go to the doctor and they'll give you some pills now. They'll give you some pills. But they'll give you pills, and when that pill gets finished with trying to fix this problem,
they'll give you another pill
to fix what that messed up. Go ahead and just invest in something herbal, something that's from nature, you know, that's right out there. And like I said, I need to get some of that sassafras tea. What you call it? Life Everlasting.
Life Everlasting.
You know, that was some good stuff. I can remember as a kid, my mom putting it on the stove, and that thing would set the whole house smelling so good. I mean, and of course, you know, I wasn't into drinking teas at that time, hot stuff, but now I appreciate something hot every once in a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is a very good benefit. So thank you, Ms. Tawana Johnson, for your time, for being with us tonight on Johnson Spotlight. We greatly appreciate you bringing the knowledge and the understanding and giving us the wisdom about a doula and setting us straight so that we'll know who is a doula, what the responsibilities of a doula are, you know, and then you told us about a doula and a midwife. And so we really, truly appreciate that. And the certifications and stuff, we appreciate that. And we appreciate the work that you do and have done throughout the years. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I understand about being in that delivery room, I tell you. And, you know, sometimes I didn't know you had services for the men, you know. Yeah.
Your dad needs some support too.
Exactly. Thank you.
He needs a little bit of relief too.
I'm telling you, I wish I had known. But we thank you so much. And I want to thank you, our listening audience, for tuning in to another edition of Johnson Spotlight. That's right. Now, once again, if you or someone that you know needs to have their business spotlighted or want to spotlight someone who's doing something in the community that's worth being on Spotlight, please send us an email, johnsonspotlight1@gmail.com, and we'll be so grateful to get back with you. Also, go to our YouTube page and please subscribe on our YouTube page, subscribe so that you can get all these interviews that we're doing with these people that are being spotlighted. We also have a Facebook page and an IG page for Instagram. We have those pages as well. So please, we have some upcoming interviews and things that are going on. So please come out and go there and support our page, go share our page, send them out in a text or whatever. Go to IG and like our pages, but most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we truly thank you for all that you do. Thank you so much again, Ms. Tawana Johnson. God bless you. God bless our listening audience. And thank you all for tuning in to another edition of Johnson's Spotlight. We'll see you on the next time.